Alright guys, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well and welcome to another video. Yes, I'm inside again today. I've already been out in the dark, so I'm back in my room. I'm back in the comfort of my own home. It seems at the moment that every other video that I do on the Summer Wells case is a fact-checking one to debunk or explain some of the rumours that are just rife. And I don't know where these rumours originate. I think some of them, though, are just misunderstandings. Others are speculations that people just run with and assume are fact. And I'm going to give you four examples of things that are not true, or at least there's no evidence that they're true, but people are running with, creators are running with. And I think that a lot of these rumours begin on Facebook. Facebook seems to be the root of all evil when it comes to rumours. Not that the rumours are evil, but and having a Facebook group and running it for several months now has made me realise just how many rumours are out there. And this is why I feel the need to do these kind of videos. You know, there's nothing new in the case from law enforcement, and there hasn't been for months now. The last update we had from the TBI was that short video that they did on the 15th of December. So everything that we talk about is theory. The vast majority of things we talk about have not been confirmed by the TBI. But we can still assume that some of them are rooted in fact. We can assume, because we've got those little snippets of evidence. Even those could be complete lies or complete misunderstandings. But as far as I'm concerned, the things that are the most factual have at least some grounding in fact. I'm going to take a stronger evidence of what happened to Summer. The things I'm talking about here are things that have no basis in fact whatsoever. So, number one, Don Wells and Sheriff Ronnie Larson are related. This has been going on for a long time. I've asked numerous people, where's the evidence? So, we know that Don Wells is not a native of Tennessee. So, if there is a relationship between Don Wells and Sheriff Ronnie Larson, it's not a biological one. So then we say, well, Ronnie Larson is related to Don's stepfather, that the third marriage that Don's mother, Karen, had. And that's to William Joseph Goad. Now, I've got William Joseph Goad's pedigree, his ancestry, down to 5 generations, every single person. I've got that to 5 generations. On some lines, I've got it to 6, 7, 8 generations. No Larsons. Now, it could be that William Goad is related to Sheriff Ronnie Larson's mother's side of the family. It's not Larson's. Or some other link. But where is it? So I'm asking again, show me the pedigree, show me how they are related specifically. Who's the most recent common ancestor? Give me a name, the most recent common ancestor, and I'll look it all up myself. So that's number one. Now, the rest of these are very recent. These are things I've seen in the last 24 hours. So number two is Summer is in foster care in North Carolina. This is because, allegedly, they had a celebration for Summer's birthday in North Carolina. And therefore, Summer must be there. Now, let's think about this logically. That would mean that CPS in North Carolina were hiding the fact that Summer was in foster care. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? So number 3 and number 4 are related. So I'm going to take them both together. And it's regarding Summer's footprints. So the footprints that were found that allegedly are Summer's. The reason why I believe they are Summer's is because a neighbour who has no reason to lie whatsoever, no other connection with the case that I've found. I know the name of this neighbour who spoke out. A lot of people know the name of this neighbour who spoke out. So tell me why that person would lie. And this was in the first week. This was on the 19th of June. So 4 days after Summer disappeared, the footprints were found. And I've said this again and again and again and again and again. The reason why adult footprints weren't found is that the searchers had already been through. So there was lots of adult footprints around. So how could you tell which adult was with Summer? You can't. But number 3 is that an EMT who was there at the scene was told that these were not Summer's footprints, these were another child's footprints. Well, where's the evidence for that? Because the neighbour who was there, who spoke to the sheriff's deputy, was very clear when he put his information on Facebook and said that these weren't his kids. He never let his kids go barefooted into the woods. And why would a live tracking dog who is searching for Summer's scent specifically, why would it alert on a barefooted child's footprint that was somebody else? Because nobody has an identical scent. Why would it alert on somebody else's print? Relatedly, number 4, I'm going to read this one out. Another content creator discussing the possibility of scent hits coming from moving of Summer's body. This is a theme that has struck a chord with some who feeling closest and most connected to the case. It hit me like a ton of bricks how plausible this theory could be. Is it possible these dogs, despite they are trained for rescue or recovery, would pick up her scent? No. Unless, and this is very, very, very rare, unless they were trained on cadaver scent as well as live scent tracking. These are different types of dogs completely. Right? We know that those dogs who were going through the area were search and rescue dogs looking for live scent. They were assuming at this time, Dave Rader tells us, they were assuming at this time that Summer was alive and was wandering around in those woods lost. One of the theories they had at the time, according to Dave Rader, was that Summer had been abducted and abused probably and then just dropped back off in the woods and she was wandering around on her own. They were looking for a living person and they had search and rescue dogs that were looking specifically for Summer's scent. Specifically for Summer's scent. And I can explain this map in my sleep. It makes perfect sense where these scent alerts were. Look at them in relation to Don Sherford Jr.'s father's girlfriend's house. There was a scent alert down Ben Hill Road. Now, these pins that I've put in are not exact, okay? They're not exact because we don't know the exact location. Just drop the pins in the general areas. There was a scent alert down Ben Hill Road near a creek, further down, further south than the Wells property. Scent alert there. A dog actually led down. Some dogs, when they alert, they lie down. Some bark. Then, up a ridge. Sort of going west, up a ridge, live search and rescue dog. And then a little bit further west again, the neighbour who spoke out on Facebook. Those were the footprints that were found on the 19th. Let me very quickly just remind you all of the differences in the types of search and rescue dogs. Now we've got trailing or tracking dogs, which tend to be breeds of dog like bloodhounds that search with their nose to the ground. Spaniels search with their nose to the ground. Springer Spaniels are used a lot in drug detection in the UK. We don't use bloodhounds a lot in the UK because they're stubborn and awkward. We tend to use Spaniels. But this kind of dog searches with its nose to the ground. It's looking for scent on the ground. So that's scent that's been left by, for example, footprints. Or scent that's gone in the air and then fallen down onto the ground. So trailing dogs are trained to follow a specific human scent which may or may not approximate the path of a person because of factors affecting the dispersal of scent. If a scent's gone up in the air and then fallen down, it can be spread by wind, it can be spread by just various environmental factors. But when it's a footprint, the scent off a foot is strong. A footprint that falls into the earth leaves a strong scent. And these dogs were trailing Summer. The dog is started on a trail at the point the victim was last seen. Trailing dogs will follow the route of scent deposited on the ground as a person moves through an area. A trained trailing dog can follow the steps of someone who passed by several days earlier. Discriminating between it and another's trail. Follow it over hills, through marshland. Dogs can even trail people in cars from the scent that blows out of the window. These are fantastic dogs. These are a fantastic tool that law enforcement uses in cases like this, finding lost people. And people say, well, why didn't they follow a trail all the way around? Well, one, we don't know that they didn't, but assuming that they didn't, these are scents that have fallen directly on the ground because they're on somebody's foot, they're on Summer's foot. The rest of the scent, if Summer was, let's say, for example, being carried, wouldn't be on the ground, it would be in the air. Now, some of it would fall to the ground, but it would be less strong. The dogs are looking for the strongest scents. But we don't know how many alerts there were. There could have been many more alerts we're not aware of. I mean, you can have air scenting dogs. These tend to be things like Labradors, German Shepherds, who find a scent in the air. These dogs tend to be used when they don't have a specific scent to follow. They're just following any human scent. And then we've got cadaver dogs, different type of dog. Now, this can be various breeds. Various breeds can be trained to be cadaver dogs. And the scenting, the scent of death. Not a specific person, they're scenting any human scent. They can differentiate between animal and human. They're used to locate the remains of deceased victims. Cadaver dogs can locate entire bodies, including those that are buried deep in the ground or submerged in water. Decomposed bodies, body fragments including blood, tissue, hair and bones, or skeletal remains. Some dogs are fantastic at this, some need a little bit more training. Yes, they make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But that's why they use multiple teams, multiple dogs, multiple handlers. As far as I know, cadaver dogs did not alert. All right, I rest my case. And I'm going now. So I've been Michelle. I hope you're well. I'll see you in the next video. And probably I'll be outside tomorrow. Bye, folks.